Good day, Emissaries. Welcome to our second devlog. I'm your host, Mogideon, and today we'll be exploring the planned changes to the Deflects, two-handed kicks, and Infusions present in Dark Souls Archthrones. Let's start off with where we left off last time, with Infusions. The initial reception of the deep infusion change was honestly something I agreed with. I simply had no idea for it, and went with something niche enough to fit with some builds. The Deep Infusion now adds an effect that applies negative 55 stamina recovery speed. This simply means that if you do not have a Chloranthy ring or anything similar, your stamina will be drained. Also, for players only, it consumes 20 stamina 5 times over 2 seconds. This is on top of the negative 55 stamina recovery speed. Our next segment will be going over the changes made to Deflects, or perfect blocks, and guard counters. This segment's going to be pretty extensive and in-depth, so please keep that in mind, y'all. We received a lot of criticisms of how we balanced the perfect blocking prior to this update. Initially, we balanced the perfect blocks as a self-contained gameplay mechanic that is always available to the player. With this in mind, we chose to make our perfect block more difficult to execute and much weaker in terms of stability enhancement and guard damage reduction. Unfortunately, this made our perfect block feel more risky and less rewarding than just rolling out of the way. Our vision for the perfect block was to enrich the gameplay by offering the player more engaging and unique tools to overcome challenges. In the current state of the demo, perfect blocking felt redundant to most players. We took heed to this feedback and have adjusted perfect block as such. The window of executing a perfect block has been increased to 6 frames to match its Elden Ring counterpart. This should help players more consistently perform a deflect. Next, we've increased the stability bonus granted by the perfect block up to a value of 35, the same as the spell Great Magic Shield. This should make perfect blocking less taxing on your stamina when executed, allowing you to keep up your aggression without having to roll away or reposition yourself. This, of course, is only if you have the stamina to spare it in the first place. Additionally, perfect blocks will now reduce all incoming physical damage guarded by an additional 100%. All incoming elemental damage will be reduced by an additional 90%. In PvP interactions, this is 50% and 45% respectively. Just for clarification, when I say additional, I mean the value stated gets added to the guard values of your current weapon. This is a step toward the intended higher risk, higher reward mechanic that perfect blocking was designed to be. For convenience's sake, we've added an icon that accurately displays when the perfect block window is active. This should give a proper visualization for the active 6-frame window. Now that that is done with, let's get to the guard counter changes. We've added a stamina rally mechanic that triggers whenever you land a successful guard counter. When triggered, this will refill your stamina bar by a certain amount depending on the class of weapon that was used to trigger it. We've split the weapon classes into these 5 categories. Super Light, which restores 26 stamina. Light, which restores 30 stamina. Medium, which restores 34 stamina. Heavy, which restores 38 stamina, and Super Heavy, which restores 42 stamina. Aside from the direct stamina gain, the rally mechanic will also increase your stamina regen by 6 points for 5 seconds. The regen rate increases by 3 points depending on the categories mentioned earlier. This change will improve the reward of landing a guard counter in a way we feel is more appropriate than just higher damage. Additionally, we've increased the speed of all guard counters to more accurately reflect their current frame data in version 1.14 of Elden Ring. Finally, it's time to discuss the changes made to two-handed kicks. In vanilla Dark Souls 3, some weapons have unique kicks built into their weapon movesets. We've decided to expand on this design choice by changing the attack animations of all two-handed kicks for all weapon classes, excluding light curved swords and thrusting swords. Let's get into the details. Daggers have adopted the light curved sword kick animation that allows you to retreat backwards with a defensive slash, albeit a bit faster. Straight swords, axes, maces, katanas, whips, and heavy curved swords have adopted a pommel bash that both guard crushes on block and combos on hit. Landing a hit with this kick will allow you to combo into either a light or heavy attack. The Greatsword weapon class has adopted a half-sword technique that can be used to poke above or around your opponent's guard. Although it can't break guards as effectively as other kicks, this attack will deal considerable chip damage on block and considerable damage on hit. As a bonus, landing this kick on hit will combo into a light attack. Ultra Greatswords, Colossal Weapons, Great Hammers, and Great Axes have received an advancing charge attack. This attack makes use of the weapon's weight to slam it into anything in its path. Landing this attack on a blocking opponent will guard crush. Landing this attack on hit will allow you to combo into a light attack. In addition, this kick has poise during its startup and active frames. Spears, pikes, reapers, and halberds have received an advancing guard pull. Utilize the butt of your polearm to pull your opponent's shield away from over it. Landing this attack on a blocking opponent will pull your opponent's guard down and guard crush. Landing this attack on hit will pull your opponent towards you, allowing you to combo into a light or heavy attack depending on the weapon. This concludes today's devlog. If unclear, every number and value you have seen today are subject to change in the final release. We hope you are all enjoying the demo, and if you have not played it, follow the links in the description to our website, our Twitter page, or our Discord server, where you may also leave your feedback about the changes shown today. If you wish to support us, you can either join our Patreon or buy us a coffee. Both are linked in the description. Thank you all for attending. Take care, y'all.